So honestly, sometimes a question is just simply a question, but often it can also be an accusation in disguise. For healthy communication tips, we turn to psychologist Susan Orenstein. How's it going, Dr. Orenstein?
Very good. Nice
Welcome
to be
back on
here.
the show.
Thank you.
So I've got to admit, anytime anyone says to me, so when was the last time you went to the gym? I don't hear that they're genuinely interested in when the last time I went to the gym was. I hear, oh my God, you're getting big.
Oh.
So that's an example of a question that some people would ask you, and it's kind of a loaded question, and people do that all the time, don't they?
They do. That's interesting that you mentioned loaded question, but we can take questions as sometimes we will feel on the defense because we're feeling like we're being attacked or criticized.
Well, what kind of questions do we need to avoid? If we want to have a successful relationship or friendship, what kind of questions do we need to avoid?
Okay. We need to avoid asking questions that are gotcha questions. So you think about a parent when you're a teenager and they say, where were you last night? Or a police interrogator or an attorney, those kind of, where were you on the night of
They just want to hear you say it, right? They
right.
have an idea.
They already have an idea, and they're kind of painting you into a corner so that you recriminate yourself. Those are the questions that really are going to make people defensive and shut down. If you want to foster a relationship, then you want to ask questions that are going to open people up. Just the opposite, that are going to show that you're curious and you're interested and you want to learn more about them.
What about blaming questions? You had mentioned something about that on your website, okay. Blaming questions.
Blaming questions. Well, I work with couples and I work with individuals with relationship issues a lot. And so one thing that I'm on the listen out for is why. Whenever people start questions with why, it usually goes with a tone of, why didn't you do the laundry? Why didn't you call last night? Really, it's not so much a question, it's more of a statement. So if that person was really being honest, they would say, I didn't like that you came home so late last night.
It'd be, I'm upset that you came home late.
I'm upset.
That's a more effective way of communicating your feelings instead of asking that thinly veiled question. Is that correct?
That's right, because the thinly veiled question is going to put the person on the defensive, and there you go with an argument.
So how do we change this about ourselves, or how do we change that in our relationship?
If we're feeling tense, if we're feeling conflict and we're angry, then be careful about asking questions and think about, how do I express what's going on with me, to make an I statement. So instead of a blaming question, an I statement, like, I'm frustrated that you didn't call when you were out late. I would have appreciated a call.
Wait, let's use a real world example. And look into the camera. So, Lindsay, next time that you say, so, Mike, how many cookies did you eat last night at dinner? Maybe in a more effective way, she should say it is, and listen to the professional. She should ask,
honey, I'm worried about you. Did we not give you enough dinner? Let's get you something you like.
Or, remember when you said you were trying to lose weight? Did you really need to eat all those cookies last night? But you're just saying be open and honest, be direct, ask open-ended questions, right?
Ask open-ended questions and make statements instead of making blaming questions.
Open our minds, open our heart, and ask open-ended questions. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for coming on here. I love it when you come on here.
My pleasure.
Dr. Orenstein, if you guys want more information or if you want to set up an appointment with Dr. Orenstein, go to orensteinsolutions.com.